We are in Genoa, Nevada, and this is tape number 3, and we're continuing our tour of this little town. Okay.
I was wondering who was whistling that.
There you are.
Welcome to Mormon Station.
It's an interesting place.
Thank you. 1851.
It was a what?
It was a trading post.
Okay.
And they were merchants from Salt Lake. They came out 51.
1851. Okay.
This was Utah territory at the time.
That's right.
And we're on the California Trail.
Uh-huh.
And the trading post actually started the town because everybody stopped here. And this became a home station later on for the Pony Express, the stage, the freighters, and all kinds of activities.
Great. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Here in the station is an old mill wheel where they used to grind grain, and other relics from the age. All right, we got that. Okay. I'm almost.
I have flown in Sedona. And you're? Nope. Nope.
Sedona.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. The rest of you have no idea what we're doing, right? Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the balloon part of this thing? I know it's early, and hardly anybody ever does it this hour of the day. That's why I like to meet with you early in the morning. Okay. I know when you get in the basket and we go for the flight that you will have questions, and I will try to answer as many of them as I can, and that should be about all of them. However, early in both flights, we're going to be doing a lot of radio communication between the balloon and flight control down here on the deck of the boat. I kind of like to look at it like a football team. We're the football players up in the balloon. Flight control down here on the deck is like the coach. We need to do some talking back and forth so that we end up in the same place. Otherwise, the boat ends up in one part of the lake and I end up in the other part with you guys. Okay? We don't want that to happen. We got to be pretty close together at the end of the flight, like real close together. Okay? So to make that happen, we'll be doing a lot of communicating, but there will be plenty of time between those communications that I can answer questions for you and try and point out some things if you'd like. That's right. Now, early this morning, as after y'all were on their way out, Leo and Harley put up what we call a pieball. It's a pilot balloon, little like a kid's small balloon, and we watched that thing and to get an idea of where we think we're going to go and where we need to launch from. Okay, my guess is we're going to launch over in that area somewhere, over in the west. But we'll see. Harley makes that decision.
All right, folks, if I can have your attention real quick, we're going to go ahead, we're going to suit up the people that are on the first flight. So, Catherine Suthill, if you could come up here forward, please. We're going to say color same. So, you're just going to grab the one. Catherine's size, go ahead and be blue. Dennis, yourself, grab an orange for Dennis. It's up in front of you with a black bucket. When you folks see your life jackets on, board welcome, you go right up on here to the French wings. Everybody up there with you, we're going to start this plate test. You need to be able to pick up 30 pounds each. Sure that you're not tangled up in any of those lines. If you're taking pictures and reaching in there doing things, okay, you got purses, pocketbooks, camera bags, things like this, try not to get them tangled up in those lines, because if you do, your pictures come out upside down. Exactly right. You just want to get in here, low. You want to try to pull this
I think you have almost a full roll there. You're not going to take a thumbnail, are you?
Then come back to your ring. Mike, as soon as you're done with that, come back to your ring. lay your ring out. Make sure that this guy isn't going over the top of any of these top lines. Just make sure everything doesn't look like there's any tangles, any knots, anything else like that. This is super gentle. Step 2, 3 on top. You don't want to take this as hard as you want to tangle it. So what we're looking for is center in the center. And do that very center edge.
Okay, want to sit down a little bit more for us? Don't stand on there.
Well, at least we know we wouldn't fall in if we tripped.
It'd be exciting to try, but this is a clip sandwiched in between some useless video in the ballooning time, but we're now looking out from our condo, from our timeshare. I am now looking out from my timeshare over the Sierra Mountains to the east, to the west actually. I'm now looking out over my timeshare. I'm now looking out over our timeshare to this, over the Sierra Mountains to the west. And you will notice there are 2 paragliders up there that are floating around. Let's bring them in. Take another look at that. Okay. Now, let me get right here. Silent
Thank you.
space. Well, let me do that then.
Okay.
I can take the camera.
I've got a bag down below, or a box down below we can lock it up in.
Okay, hold on. You want to come on in while I'm doing this?
Okay, what you want to eat right there? It's gonna be a little cozy in there.
Sorry, but
Come on in. No, it's.
You guys will get to know each other here in a minute. How we doing there? Okay.
the trick is getting out.
Oh, we'll work that out.
Whenever you're ready to turn around or
Come on,
something.
come on.
I can't get down.
There we go. Okay.
I'm getting my bag ready here. I realize.
Okay. Good
Downstairs
idea.
in lockers, you don't have to.
I'm wondering if I need a Kleenex out of it. Wait a minute. I know what a.
Ladies and gentlemen, if anybody has camera bags, pocketbooks, things like that, so we do a box down there. Hey, with Richard will look
I
at
put it over my head so I wouldn't have to hear it.
understand.
Thank you.
Anyone else that want anything locked up? Yep.
There's not much maneuver room in here. Is there? I got it this way. This is the best way. I got the best deal.
Okay, we have one more bag here. They'll be on which side? They're going to be on the port side. Okay, Ken will have these. Let him know that it's on the port side.
Okay.
Okay, he's gonna get the
Port
speech here.
side.
You're supposed to say that in English, like right and left.
Port side, that's the right side to point in the end if you back up. Normally it's the left side to point in the end. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead with your okay?
What?
Here's what we have. First of all, let's go through procedures. If I can get your attention there, let's go through safety procedures, okay, if I may.
Hang on just a second. I'm sorry.
Okay, we can get pictures here in just a moment. The crew will be happy to do that as we start warming things up. Let me go through some safety procedures that are very important.
Flight control, go ahead and send the 5 all up.
Okay.
Firefly 240, flight control net has been set. You're ready for
Yeah, thank you much. At this point here, there's no traffic to hold you down to the deck.
Anybody else? No, it's not. See, handles. See why he's got the 2 handles there.
where are you from in Ireland?
Over the east coast of Ireland. I've been before that.
I've been to Dublin.
Oh, Dublin, yeah. That's right. There was a song in the
Firefly 240 flight control. We're under power.
Roger that, thank you much. Towel Flyer, bridge, flight control. Do you have the external tank in sight? Inside, port aft. Roger that, 240, flight control. Surface wind is pretty much calm. Every now and then you get just a touch from the south. So at this point, it's right down the deck. At this point, you're going for liftoff.
Roger that, thank you. Everybody ready over on this side? Yep. Yeah? Okay, how about over here? We're out of here.
We're out of here, huh?
Y'all let me know when we're off the deck. Oh, God. See you real soon. How's everybody doing so far?
Can I get this way?
Yep.
Just
Sure.
his hat makes it hard to take.
Roger that, thank you. We're currently going northwest, 1.4, 59, 5940 indicated. There we go, 5980, actually 5980, northwest 1.4. Okay, tell you what, we're going to start with the easy stuff though, okay? Right over there is the sun. Am I going too fast? That was Shannon, wasn't it? I could tell. Shannon is never going to forget this trip. Okay, now actually there is a reason that I like to know where the sun is. And that is that
It's real hard work.
200 or more homes and the trees back in there. And at the very far end of the lake, and come up 89 like we're going to Emerald Bay, and you come past Camp Richardson, about a mile to 2 miles, and it's on the right hand side, which is the Forest Service area.
It's here.
Basically, I've got two. I've got an altimeter reading me out right here, and a rate of climb, which is telling me my climb or descent rates. And then I have another one. You all don't mind, I forgot to shave this one. Here's my other instrument. Whoa, maybe it's not working. There we go. And we'll do some over here so the people in back can see what I'm doing. Everybody tell what I'm doing? What am I doing with that, do you suppose? Exactly.
Oh, okay.
checking the wind.
You really did think I forgot to shave, huh? What's that nut doing up here? Roll 6,800 feet. We're going actually southeast at 2.9.
Sorry, we're having too much fun down here. Something about 2.9.
Roger, we're going southeast now at about 2.7 now at 6,800.
I like that, Richard. I like that a lot. I needed you a little more to the east, so that's good.
One family group, if you will. And when you drive by there, you'll notice a sign that's always down that says no entrance or no admittance, or don't bother to come in, or something like that. Fallen Leaf Lake. And by the way, they say that the fishing in Fallen Leaf Lake is pretty good. Some people say it's better than out on the big lake.
What kind of fish
I don't know.
Catchables?
Oh yeah, they're catchable. Yeah, I think there are some like Mackinaw I've heard. We're just almost over 89. I was going to call you in just a couple minutes.
Roger that. Tell you what, everything looks perfect from here. Why don't you guys go ahead and climb out?
Okay, now you see all these boats moored that I was talking about earlier, right over here to the left, out on the lake. And you can see a pier there, that's Camp Richardson. They call it Historic Camp Richardson. Years ago, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, that was a lumber camp. And there are three major homes that are along the shore this side of Camp Richardson. They sit back in the trees. That's why you don't see them, but they're pretty good size, I'd call them mansions. Back in here that were summer homes for people, and they used Camp Richardson kind of as the staging area to build those.
And that is Emerald Bay.
Okay, yeah, we have a beautiful view now of Emerald Bay. I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to. And Emerald Bay, you'll notice, has an island in the center of it, and that's called Finette Island. And there's a little structure, little tiny structure on top of Finette Island. That's a tea house. And that tea house measures 16 by 16. And everything I've told you up to now, I've either had somebody tell me or Now currently at 8,300 feet, we're moving out into the lake at about, see our shadow and you'll see it's moving along pretty well. Flight control, 8,400 feet, we're moving north at 16.4. Now, has anybody driven the road from the South Lake Tahoe area up here to Emerald Bay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember there was an area where you could look on the road and see from into both lakes? You could see into Cascade on the left and Emerald Bay on the right. You can see the road you were on right down there. Now, if you haven't driven that road, have you not driven it yet?
We haven't.
You haven't driven it yet? It's really beautiful, well worth doing. Little advice there, when you see the speed limit at 10 miles an hour, just ignore that. 40 or 50 is just fine, okay? No, I'm just kidding. You can barely do 10 miles an hour. Again, is Viking Zone. You'll have to look pretty close because they built it the same color as the sand. Roger that. We'll be looking for that southeast. Thanks. Okay.
Stay up a little bit. Yeah, that other group,
Well, you need to
the
talk
other
to
group
my
doesn't need
boss.
to go up.
In fact, they're afraid to come up.
You're going to make sure of that, right? Thing like that kind of stuff. That home was built in 1929 by a woman from Galena, Illinois. She came out here and felt that that looked like the fjords of Norway, so she bought it. She bought the whole area. And then
Illinoisans are pretty smart.
yeah. And she proceeded to build her home there. In 1929, she lived there until 1945 when she passed away. It's now owned by the state of California, and they charge you $3 to go through it. And boy, I'll tell you what, I spent $3 in a whole lot worse ways. Okay, looking. I'm sorry. What were you asking?
Is that pollution on the lake there on Emerald?
Uh,
Looks like oily
No.
stuff.
You know what you're seeing is wind there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just wind on the water. Now it's very shallow at the where it comes through
The entrance.
At the entrance, you can see the brown there.
Yeah.
That's just the shallowness, the dirt. And you can look real close, and you'll notice on the right-hand side there's some red buoys, and on the left there's some green buoys for the channel
Yeah.
markers. Over this way, up the lake, you'll see a point that sticks out into the lake not too far from us. That's Sugar Pine Point, and that's a state park also. The state of California owns that area. And if you look past Sugar and Homewood is coming out into the Bikini Bay right there. Now this side of Sugar Pine Point, the small bay, is Meeks Bay, and then the shallow but longer bay, almost in front of us here, is called Rubicon.
Look around. We didn't want to go in.
Do you remember the
That's
old
what Harley
TV?
said.
Do you remember the old TV show Bonanza? They have the ranch house up there from Bonanza, which is. But if you remember the show, and I didn't know this until I came up here, but fictitiously it was at the north end of Lake Tahoe. Remember they used to talk about Virginia City all the time? Well, that's the Virginia City over in Nevada, and one of the largest in California. To give you an idea that kind of is a little bit more workable, it's 240,000 cubic feet of air. When I started ballooning, my first balloon was 62,000 cubic feet. So this is 4 times as big, and I would carry a pilot in 2, sometimes 3. And at this point in my life, I'd much rather fly the larger balloon like this than I would the small one that I used to have, even though it was a little more responsive in some ways. This is just more fun for me. Like on the job training.
The balloon is reflecting on the water below us. We're about 300 feet above the water.
But for the bigger balloons, you just have to learn to do things a little bit differently. What about a hotel?
Formed from volcanic.
Of sorts, yeah. Although I think part of it was volcanic and part of it was uplifting of the. Looks like it's going to be a rough one, folks.
Okay, let's go through the checklist one more time here. Backup radio still in the pouch.
Roger that. Not use the battery the same.
Roger that. GPS on, activated, battery level.
Give battery level 90% plus.
Roger that. Give me a passenger count. PFD check, please.
Firefly 240 sees 10 passengers, 10 PFD.
Roger that. Straps are on, so right now let's continue. Let's bypass that for a moment. Let's go down a little farther here. Let's get a altimeter reading from you, please.
5930, 5930.
And roger on that. At this point, with the way we're going, I'd like to remove the aft straps. The forward straps are still going to hold you from sliding back at all, so if we could remove the aft straps, that'd be good.
We'll go for aft strap removal.
Roger, go for ASR. not in that basket, take pictures and just tell them, yeah, that's me up there with the phone.
Yeah. I'm hanging from the basket, right?
That's right. There you go.
I'm going there,
Eyeball up. Roger that. Why don't you ride that for a ways?
I think off Victoria.
Them out there somewhere. We'll deflate the balloon, that kind of thing. So right now, you're welcome to just hang out up here, get some sunshine, have a little breakfast left. There's a set of stairways in the back of the boat, which kind of goes up and down a little easier. Make yourself comfortable, whatever. Read it right now. They're still being pushed up, okay? Right along through here was the end of the Sierra Nevada Mountains about 3 or 4 million years ago. Fleet, because that's where I first got to know the people up there. I met them there, and Pittsburgh, new place. I like it. But by the way, when it rains up there, it rains.
Yeah,
Boy,
right.
does it rain.
That's why it's so green.
That's right. That's right.
Almost never been in Texas.
Well, it rains down there too. I agree. I agree. But when it rains in Texas, you're dodging lightning. You know.
Right. Cooler down here.
Yeah, this is the shady spot.
So am I guessing that these are you two girls? Yes. And you guys, are you in school?
You're from Texas. I can't
I don't go to Harvard. I just do that essay as a self-esteem.
put a jacket on first.
Are you kidding me?
I go to University of Pittsburgh.
Oh, do you?
Just the fact that it's,
I'm saying. No problem. And I have to ask all. You guys do those things? Are you? Good. Good for you.
She's a Patriot. She's from Boston.
No. It's a little rivalry amongst the football season, doesn't it? So you go to the pit. Now, how about yourself? What do you do?
I go to Bucknell.
No, where's that?
Bucknell. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where's that?
In the middle of the state.
Is it?
Nowhere. It's a little bit north of Harrisburg.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What are you studying there?
International relations.
Really? You plan on traveling abroad then?
Going to DC probably.
Okay. Well, I guess there's about as international there as there is anywhere else, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then, how would that, what kind of field would that put you in? What would you have to be doing if you had a degree in international relations?
I don't know. I think about it. No, it's still very much up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to imagine though, how that type of a field. What does an individual do that has that type of a degree? You know?
You could go to the, like the State Department or anything, or like government agencies, or go into law school.
Okay. Good for you. Are you good in school? You do well?
Yes.
Good. That's a proud mom. I like that. That's good. Good for you. How about your other sister?
She's good too.
She's good. Does she do as well in school? Good.
Hmm.
You always trouble her, or is she just that way?
She's been like that since day one.
You know what? I admire that. That's wonderful.
She's very interesting.
Do it all.
Well, there wasn't. Skydiving going on here.
No. Oh, we do that when I'm
There was. I don't think we're doing it longer though.
kind of a mistake.
Yeah, there you go.
The target was the
Oh, really?
Yeah, they kept missing though. They kept landing out in the water and landing in the parking lot. Yeah, but you know, you guys started at 2 o'clock in the morning. Because just because you guys didn't join us until somewhere around 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, whatever it was there. They started, well, they got up at 3. I got that 4:30 in the morning. We go over weather, safety, and stuff going on for the day. And then when I'm done with the crew, they go ahead and start putting things together as far as down here on the road, getting everything covered and getting it all tested and make sure everything's fine. And then kind of the pilot for about 15 minutes, go over briefing with him, and the FAA. But prior to the talking to guys, I'm on the internet, I check the weather, I have National Weather Service, NOAA Weather Service, then I'm on the phone with the FAA, get to their flight briefing. And from that point, I have to make a decision whether it's safe to fly or not, where we're going to fly from, how it's going to work. And once I understand what's going on, then you guys must call, and I'll let you know whether it's a good day, safe day, and from the time we meet you guys. Pretty much, usually, not always, but usually by the time I'm ready to leave the office and the band to start rolling you guys up, then most everybody's called me in, check in, and for those who haven't okay, I'll wake them up to make sure that, you know. So I yell and then call, wake up one, so that wasn't a problem. And then I go and I'm usually on time. Sometimes I'm a minute or two off, you know, here or there. But we get everybody, come on down to the marina, start looking at the helium balloons as I'm walking out the dock, watching what's going on and deciding where we're going to go. And you see the rest of it. Once we get back to the dockside, then the crew will continue to get the boat ready. There's all kinds of things to do here. They have to take all the propane tanks down the end of the dock, put the truck, haul propane up, bring them back, haul them out here, get them in the balloon again. Shipping's ready for tomorrow. They cover everything all up. They're done
7 days a week.
7 days a week during summer. And then
Flight control, Firefly 240, currently approaching Route 89, maybe 100 yards.
Roger that. What's your speed, direction, and altitude?
The south 2.7, 6,600 feet.
Okay, roger that. If everything is intact in there, you're welcome to continue, or you can go ahead and start to climb out at your convenience.
Well, this is looking pretty good. We have a pretty good wind up the top, right?
Yeah, roger. It's pretty good up there. You'll have a pretty good time, no problem.
And we made on.
Yeah, roger. Give it another... Did you copy?
Did you say something? I was just in there for a minute.
Yeah, sorry about that. Why don't you go ahead and give it about 2 more minutes before you actually start to climb out. You know, timing-wise, it'll work better if we give it 2 minutes and then go ahead and climb out.
That will just keep on course here.
What's his altitude now?
Right now he's at 6,600 feet, which puts him about 700 feet above the ground. He's just about to the highway. When you guys saw the highway, did you guys get to the highway or beyond it?
No, we got just one.
Just got to it, yeah.
Look at that right there. You can take a picture, see the balloon in front of the mountain, and say, this is what it looks like from afar, and when you're in the balloon, this is what it looks like. That mountain right there is the same mountain that, if you've ever seen the Western television series Bonanza, you watch the opening series where the 4 guys ride up on a horse, that mountain's in the background.
Really?
Yep. And if you watch it again, look real close. Even if you know it's there, it's hard to see. But Lake Tahoe's in between that mountain and the guys riding up also. They took that photograph, those series from right across the lake over here. The Bourne Meadow.
Boring Meadow.
What part? North Hills. Originally, Santa Monica, California. I was half Canadian. I was supposed to be born in Canada, but my mom and dad came down to visit my dad's parents. They moved to Los Angeles, Southern California, and ended up staying more than 2 weeks. They ended up staying 8 weeks.
Action in the water when you're up there is real pretty too.
All right. Now, folks, as we get ready for this landing, you know, you all saw it from the air here on the boat. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is stand there. Not too bad, huh? All right. What we're going to do is we're going to line up with him, same direction and same speed that he's going.
Oh, sir, excuse me.
They're going in the drink.
Oh, it's rounding out. They're not going to make it. No, that's too
Nobody's shoes wet today. All right, and I tell you folks what, this is a heck of a nice picture. If you all have a camera and want to hand it back to one of the fellas, y'all can stand there and give a big smile and have that balloon right in your picture with you.
Yeah.
I'll get my picture too, even though I didn't go. No, it was the chicken. Cluck cluck.
All right, ready? Oh, it even has a little computer. I took a picture of it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Guys, do you guys want a picture?
Wait a little bit more.
I'm glad he knows what he's doing, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's
We really need to quit meeting like this.
That's come your way a little bit better.
Cool, cool, cool.
Were the fish waving back to you?
Sorry.
It acts like it wants to go back up, doesn't it?
All the way back is about deflated. We have a ton of pictures. I just can't figure why I don't see anyone there with it.
Bring the balloon down this way. You know, when that balloon starts coming down, awesome photographs. It just needs to be. They're going to
That's
pull
your
it out there.
picture.
Then they're going to let go of those handles. At that point, I can have this pull that line back in for me. Put a big old pile down there. The wooden handles go back also. Don't let them get this off. We can pull it back. We just pull back to the pile. Need one more volunteer. Someone with plenty of strength.
Go for it.
Okay, here we go. What I'm going to do is that rope's going to be wrapped around this. I'm going to hang on to that rope. I'm going to hand it to you back here, okay? If you can hang on to that rope, don't get your hand too close up here because if it starts to slip away from you, you'll get your fingers caught in there. But if you hang back here, just hang on to it. As I pull it in, if you can just kind of pull it slack in. And the important part there is, if it gets to a point where the balloon is going to roll off the side of the boat one way or the other, you got it, and you're going to save it from rolling in the water. Okay? It's really important.
Okay, honey.
You're really gonna do that, huh? You're a hero.
I guess. He does.
You want to get up front?
Whoops.
Oh, pressure up there, guys. Here she goes.
I need the battery, Dennis. Of course.
Right in the middle of the
Right
best
in the
part.
middle of the best part. Ain't that the one? I got the other one. This thing.
Okay.
He really is.
All done. You think they're really gonna have him do that?
I have no clue.
Nope, it's gonna go right on top of us. That is amazing. Oh, guys, watch it out light. Oh. I wouldn't like that to fall on them.
There you go. Just hang on to that right there. Hold tight.
It's gonna take to work on this thing.
I think I might have got you that time in between the tugs. Whatever. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Look at the lines.
Is that amazing?
All right, right there.
Good job, Mrs. Peterman. And put that back in your pocket so I don't lose it. You're recording history. We were in. Where'd you sail on the
America's Cup.
America's Cup? Where's that at? I, of course, didn't do that either. I'm not just
St.
going-
Martin.
St. Martin, yeah. They have two of the, no, one of the America's Cup yachts.
Finish it out, Shane.
And then they have one from
Canada.
True North was the one he was on. She was the one that won.
Nice job.
Some
Nice
years
job,
ago.
guys. Nice job, fellas.
Awesome job. Eat your Wheaties daily.
Yeah, that worked out perfect. Oh, look at that, all coiled up and all. Woo! Let's not mess that baby up. That's perfect. No. Let's try to keep it like it is.
And we heat that balloon up to about 280 to 300 degrees. Red line is 300 degrees in there. If you get above that for 10 or 15 minutes, you'll take off, 40, 50 hours of life of the balloon.
Huh.
And if we get up to a point where we're over 300 degrees, maybe 320, 340 for, say, something like 30 to 40 minutes, we can almost throw the balloon away. So today we were in about 280 degrees in that range, 290 degrees, and that's okay. The balloon at that temperature can last about 400 to 600 hours of flying time. Right now they're putting it in the bag because of course the heat's gone. However, the ultraviolet rays also are difficult for it. If we leave it out here for 15 more minutes today, 15 more than normal, do that every day, we're liable to lose, maybe 75 or 100 hours of actual flying time. 1, 2, 3. And you might think 100 hours isn't that much, but when you look at 400 to 600 hours of total life of that balloon, then it's considerable. Now the balloon itself, just the balloon portion, not the basket,
1, 2,
is about
3.
$60,000. About 60,000, and then the basket, just the basket's between 25 and 30,000, and you can go up from there for all the extra
1,
goodies.
2, 3.
When we get a new balloon, we get a new envelope every 2 years, and the basket, that's good for 4, 5, 6 years.
1, 2, 3.
The balloon, just the material here, weighs 450 pounds.
What is that woven on the basket? Is that real?
That's
stuff that
real
they
wicker.
don't-
Real wicker, yes.
Okay.
And they do that because, landing here, the landings are very, very smooth. Now we can kind of gather around here. Come on up. Out here, the wind's blowing 15 miles an hour. We just went to the balloon at 16. It's nice and soft, just like you saw here today.
That's gonna leak.
That boy's gonna leak.
Okay.
I won't. Mine's gonna leak since I dropped it.
All hot
I'll
air
never not
balloons,
see
when they
that.
land, they have champagne with them today. There's a reason for that. Champagne is a tradition. People say that the pilots like it. Well, hey, that may be true, but there is a little tradition behind it. When they open the champagne, they have two common all across the world toasts. First toast is to soft landings because people want to have a soft landing in their balloon no matter what. So sometimes they'll land in a hot air balloon, they'll bounce 2 or 3 times, they'll tip over, the basket will drag along until they get the air out of the balloon and they get it slowed down. They have to go through the trees and drag it in a power line.
Wait a second. I'm never going to want to fly in a landing again after listening to you.
It's okay. Hey, no problem. No problem. We have your captive attention that way. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to open this and we're going to drink the soft landings, okay? And as I open this, I'm going to give you a little bit of tradition. Balloonists are superstitious individuals.
Oh, yeah.
Cork, when they open this up, if it goes in the basket, it was
Whoa, what do you call that, Harley?
I wasn't ready for that. Wow, that was right out of there. You know what? If they open the cork of the champagne when you're ready for it, if it goes in the basket, it's extremely good luck for everybody. They say for a year. Superstition.
In order to get that champagne, he was urged to go aboard the balloon, which he did. He had a very wonderful flight, much like you did. Very, very happy about his flight. But when he landed, he immediately jumped out of the balloon. He kissed the ground. He was so happy to be back. But the one thing that he did right is he created this wonderful little poem that we call the Irish Balloon Club that I would like to do for you. But before I do that, you all, particularly in my last group on the flight, you all saw these guys work extremely hard today to make this all happen for you. All day long they've been doing things. And I'd like to reintroduce them.
That's right in the corner where the grand residence of Marriott is located. At next west. We go towards the lake. Going down a little ways, about 2 blocks, the road makes a right turn, and then it makes a little sharp left turn. The view of Harvey's is really good.
We're coming into the pier where this floating platform that carries the balloon is normally docked.
It's good. But
There are condos or townhouses on one side. That's the floating platform from which the balloon is launched, as we saw. That's the floating platform from which the balloon is launched, as we shall see.
See, while it's going, you can. Another one, okay? Help other people. Okay. Takes me 7 seconds to get to the next one. I just take that quickly. Okay.
This swimming pool and these wonderful spas, some 6 of them, are warm and pleasant and comfortable all the time. And this is the entrance to the spa. Let's go in and see how people enjoy themselves. It's midday and most people are inside out of the heat of the sun, but oftentimes these baths, which sometimes are as high as 106 degrees, are loaded with people enjoying themselves. And off to the east, we see the beautiful Carson Valley. A wonderful round reception hall has been placed here, and an artificial lake, and behind it is an open field where weddings often are performed. From Job's Peak to the south, the Sierra Nevada mountains roll across the eastern, let's start over. From Job's Peak to the south, the Sierra Nevada mountains roll across the western plains and high valleys of Nevada over to where we are. And Wally's is built right on the base of one of these mountains. From Job's Peak to the south, the Sierra Nevada mountains stretch across the western side of Nevada, stretch across the Sierra Nevada mountains, stretch across the western side of Nevada. And Wally's is built right at the base of this mountain, whose name no one seems to know. For about a quarter of a mile, The resort stretches along this base. It's a view looking from south to north of the entire complex. And here at the entrance is a freshwater waterfall with water pumped up from the wetlands below. There are two timeshare buildings on this property. We stay in this one on the second floor to the left, and then there is the older building over here as we pan across the wetlands and the Carson Valley and the mountains in the distance. And this building was one of the first to be built here as a timeshare. And this is the view from our balcony. Start over again. And this is the view from our balcony.
Not because it's cold out, that's hot water right there. We're in geology, active geology right around us, the faults, Eastern Sierra faults. Earthquakes are very common out here. Haven't had one in a little while, so the groundwater seeping into the crust of the earth, hitting that magma down below, and then he doesn't want customers to visit his store. He hates customers. Everywhere we go, we support economies. We don't just intrude. But the people on that trip ahead of us, the serrated, snow-clad mountains. Yosemite is right behind that. So sometimes I start to feel like you guys are getting stuffy with the air, so I will turn it on air conditioner mode. It's hard to adjust in this bus, so I'm going to do the best I can, just bear with it. I'd rather have you a little bit cool than getting hot in here. It's worse if you're getting hot. Moraine that goes into the valley, with a little sun on it, shows where the glaciers ended, as that moraine ends in the valley. It's a really good geological tour today. The next scene will be awesome. Here. You're at the inland ocean, Mono Lake, the one and only. You may have heard of this place. Glacier-filled valley down here. With droughts and everything, you can't get it. You can't do much. You get the sign in there too?
You're my guy.
Walker, got you here.
Oh, honey.
Guy.
That's it. We have just entered Yosemite National Park, and we're looking toward the south and toward the west as we carry on, and you'll note the reflection of the mountain in this small pool. And you'll notice the glacier up on the mountain.
It is the largest subalpine meadow in the Sierra.
The
We
largest.
have a fly in here, so I'm trying to get him out.
The largest
Up to the
chunk
left
of,
up there is a peak. See it through the woods. We'll see that again on the way back. Keep your eyes open for animals, because these are the kind of scenes that the animals like to be in. This is good deer area.
this is the largest chunk of granite in the world.
Heard of big mule deer out there last week coming home. Lots up in the junipers as well. Take note in your minds as we drive west, the changes that we're going to see. That's a lot of change in elevation. That means lots of climates in the park. More climates than any other national park. From almost subtropical to glacier. Look back to the right, you might see Cascade Falls behind us back there. Yeah, it's running, I see it. If I can see it, you can. I only take quick looks, by the way. Cool. So if you're a rock climber and you consider yourself world class, you can't say that unless you climbed out Cappy Camp. That's what that is. The captain. The guardian. Just look at the rocks as we go.
We are now at the campgrounds, and around us are sheer walls of rock that go up more than 3,000 feet from the valley. The what river?
This is the Merced River.
And where's the water source for this?
Way back up in the high country. Merced Lake, Washburn Lake.
And it's lunchtime.
Yeah, I'm just busy always on this tour. Getting some good footage.
Yes.
I may need a volunteer to open some red wine.
And there in front of us is that 3,300 foot rock wall. And in front of us is this sheer 3,000 foot wall of granite rising up from the river. These giant cedars populate the forest down here in the valley. Right now we are in the heart of Yosemite Park, and there, in the exact middle of our picture, is what Yosemite Falls looks like in the dry season. You will see a little bit of water trickling down, but in other seasons it is one of the highest falls in the United States. Are a half a mile from the base of this great tower called El Capitan, and that's 3,600 feet above our heads. These are called the Cathedral Rocks and Mountains, looking toward the sun and out over a beautiful green meadow.
You're not allowed to just go wherever you want. You have to carry it with you. That's for the top.
It's a 2 to 3 day climb to the top of El Capitan.
Two going up. It's just blowing straight. If there were clouds here, you'd be able to see it blowing across that face.
So many say that before you start climbing, you should feel where the wind is coming from. The other side of it.
Yep, it changes. So that's a rescue.
The waterfall.
This is Bridal Veil Falls.
Oh, this is the
620 feet.
I've heard of it.
And the natives called it Pahono, or puffing wind.
It's really big.
And that's a hanging valley above Bridal Veil, and that's why that falls is a true waterfall, because it leaves the ground. It's not a cascade that trickles down. Bridal Veil runs year-round. It's eternal, because there's groundwater above. There's marshy area above it. And anything. Yeah, there are a lot of falls that use.
Mira aquí entre las rocas, vele.
We'll take a panoramic shot of El Capitan, and then of the valley, and then across to Bridal Falls.
Going down isn't that bad.
A big storm last winter came through and felled thousands of trees. And look at this one that split down from the very bottom to the top as a live tree. This is perhaps the largest sugar pine tree in the whole world.
Really? Is that what he said?
Yes.
I'm sorry, he's taking
No, that's all right. It is a mild walk from the parking lot to where the giant sequoias grow. This is our first sequoia.
Trees. You can look inside that young tree there. The fire scarred it, and you can feel how thick the bark is. Touch the wood inside, then go to the tunnel tree and see how Teddy Roosevelt.
This is our first
There's another famous guy we haven't talked about yet. Teddy Roosevelt took this road in his first trip to Yosemite. first president ever to visit a national park was Teddy Roosevelt. Let's visit Yosemite. Myself down there. I'll show you in my book later on.
Oh,
Now there are a bunch of babies right here too, and sequoia need lots of space. So all these little babies are never going to make it. There's a whole cluster. That's why this is a good picture, because see these beautiful trees in the foreground? Feels like now you can see that this is nothing close to pines or redwood. Rub your hand against the grain on that. It's sharp. Prickly. And this tree's not dying. This happens every year. There's like a 3-footer right there.
So they don't have cones either.
They do.
Oh, they do have
Yeah,
cones.
but they don't produce them sometimes till they're 100 or more years old.
Do you know how old that one was?
And this
This
is,
one's about 3,000.
this is a
The one that splits.
baby
Yeah.
sequoia.
One's out here, and it's doing the same thing. They're just shedding. Yep. And they're all doing it. So I just got rid of all the brown off mine. It's fine. But I was like, man, I have a 3-foot tall sequoia like that one down there, and it's all turning brown. Even though it's all broken up, there's hard granite under here. So these trees have to spread their roots out, getting the groundwater. So how far around do they go? We're walking on the root of that tree. There's hundreds of feet around. Only 4 to 8 feet deep. So they're quite amazing.
This giant sequoia was dead when they made the tunnel through it. It's been like this for many hundreds of years, and the road builders came through and made a novelty out of it and cut this tunnel through it.
So this was probably
This tree has been dead about 700 years. Teddy Roosevelt rode through it. His initials are in there somewhere. And about 140 years ago, they tunneled through it as a novelty for tourists.
Eventually they start leaning and you fall down. But look at how healthy this tree is. The bark is fire. This is like asbestos. It's not soft.
I didn't get any of
Feel
it.
this. This is where the bears have been flying. This is bear damage right here. I've been watching this happen. 2 years ago that wasn't there. Neither of these marks.
So
And now I feel how hard that bark. The bark's so thick. It's like a natural fire skin.
And they
And
peel
that's-
off the bear's feet to present the proper the surroundings.
Mom,
I hear the
mommy,
animals they
look,
peel
come
the
here.
feet.
I want to show you something.
Yeah, they do, yeah. But see, that's the blood of a sequoia, and you know what? The difference between this and the pine, not just the color, but it's water soluble.
Oh.
It's like latex stain. Pine sticks, you can't do that like I just did. You can't. Yeah, it takes a lot. That's why pine sap's good for sealing. These are the cones.
Let's see that.
Here, anybody want to pick this up? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
we
give
have
the-
a sequoia tree.
600 years later, you will be the first sequoia in Las Vegas.
You'll never be able to grow it, yeah. You can try, but... Yeah, this limb fell from way up high. That's part of it over there. Look at people.
Here, take this one.
Whatever the weather was doing, we'd be doing the same thing.
We're at a place called Cloud's Rest, where the moisture from the valley comes up, condenses, and precipitates. This is the area where glaciers ground down the rock and smoothed it over. This glacier rock to get to the top of it to see what's here. Oh. Amazing.
Tombstone, Arizona. You went there? Was it fun?
A gnarled old cedar tree growing right up out of the rock.
Now, so we all aboard. Getting aboard.
Huh?
Find some place to go swimming up here.
It's incredible. Light is very good here. By the time you get to the next one, you will have gotten. We have just passed Mount St. Helens and Crater Lake. There we see Mount St. Helens at a great distance, and you'll notice this north side of it is blown away. We are perhaps 200 miles away, 150 miles away from it. And again you see Mount Rainier out beyond the tip of the airplane. Below is the city of Tacoma, Washington. And there is downtown Seattle. Seattle is a town with many waterways. Seattle is a town with lots of shipping to all parts of. That's us.
Oh, pushing
Okay.
that button up there.
That's a 7-second snapshot.
Okay, do you edit your movies or have somebody edit them?
I edit.
Here that I've been putting together. Hello and welcome. This is the Coles residence, and we are now going to take a tour of it in more detail. So, there's the hay. Garage. We'll go over there and see that a little better later on. For animals. Over here, we have the dog kennels. We're gonna go say hi to the dogs. here is Tag. She is a search and rescue dog. This black miniature pinscher here is named Henry, and he is a miniature pinscher. And this critter over here, the tan one, is a miniature pinscher named Ruby, and she'll eat anything that is edible. There is one other dog we're not going to meet. Actually, that's a misstatement. This is the other dog that is out here. There are a couple house dogs that we'll meet later. This is Gerda. Gerda does Suchen. Suchen is a German police training type thing. It's really neat. So, now we're going to go to the garden. You can see from here the garden's pretty impressive. Yep. This is the garden. We're now going to take a tour of this magnificent complex. Here's the corn in late August. We have some rhubarb, a swimming pool area when it gets hot, comes in handy, and our orchard. Over there, we have our raspberries. And back here is the strawberries. Over here we have our shed type area for tools and etc. And that is the garden. This is my mom, Elizabeth Cole, out on a mission of mercy and necessity. Mrs. Cole, would you please explain what you're doing?
I'm trying to put my dog on the top.
Will you tell us about the mission of mercy and necessity?
There is a 70-year-old man missing. He's diabetic. He had a heart attack 2 years ago. He went on a bike ride yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and could be anywhere, but he has not been found.
Oh wow, this sounds serious. So you are actually doing your search and rescue thing and going to go find this guy. Okay.
This
And
is my search and rescue dog, Tag,
Okay.
and she is trained in wilderness, area search, tracking, water search, and cadaver.
Ah, talking about a qualified dog. And what could...
Idaho, we cross-train because there just aren't many dogs.
Huh.
So I gotta scoot.
Okay, well thank you for your time, Mrs. Cole. Enjoy the search. Yeah. Welcome to the Living Word Presbyterian Church of America, PCA. Here we have the parking lot, some cars filling up this wonderful clear Sunday morning. There's a church, some neighbors in the background, and our wonderful park area with the sign. Kids come out here after the service generally and play soccer of some sort. We are now going to go interview the new arrivals. This is the this is the Bodstruck's vehicle.
Yes, it is.
So there are some other individuals jumping off that threw me off there a little bit. So this is Elder Bodstruck. We're now going to interview Elder Bodstruck. Mr. Bodstruck, why do you go to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
Because I'm an elder.
Because you're an elder. How did you become an elder?
Well, I had to go through ordination.
This tape is going back east, representing us at other churches that donate us money. You want to say anything else? You being the treasurer and all.
We enjoy Pastor Cole as our pastor, and his children are also not too bad.
Hey. You hear that, people? Oh. Okay. Well, that is
Keep me busy with his treasurer, that's for sure.
Ron Bodstruck. So now you have a face to identify with the name. Thank you very much, sir.
Where are you staying?
This is Timothy Rooney. Timmy, why do you go to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
What?
Why do you go to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
Because we like it.
Huh. Any ideas why?
It's a nice church. Everybody's nice here. Except for the person that gives the bulletins.
Okay. Just for an update there, that would be normally me. Yeah. But yes. So that is Timothy Rooney. We're now going to go inside Living Word Church and see what we can find. People! Lots and lots of people. Well, a fair amount of people. Over here we have the coat hangers, more restrooms, some literature if you wanted to read that. Tables, this can be for our wonderful potlucks. World renowned, some more tables. A bulletin board, some more handouts. Over here we have the church library type setup and some books. We even have the author of some of these books coming today. World magazines, good stuff, good stuff. Some tracts, and other papers, some pictures, big stops, and bell. Over here we have the nursery slash kitchen slash closet photocopying area. Actually, this isn't the closet, which is kind of different from the nursery. Another bulletin board. And a phone. How can you write this into a phone? Calendar. Stove. Microwave. And over here we had some helping hands emptying the dishwasher. And these people aren't even getting paid. Yep. Almost everything here is done volunteer. Sure, that's how it works at most places. So, there's a window you can go and you can see into the sanctuary, which is where we're going to go right now.
You are.
Zachary Gold. Okay, moving over here. We have Dave, the worship director. Dave. Hello.
Hi.
I'm interviewing people. Can I interview you?
Well, I'm real busy right now.
Okay.
I need to practice, but
Okay.
chat to you later, okay?
Okay, yeah, I'll watch you practice. Here we have the sanctuary. Here's some dividers we can set up for getting multiple classrooms when we need it. Our excellent sound system. Projector setup. Projectors, they really come in handy. Windows. How can you have a building without windows? More people. The real thing that makes a church is the people.
Oh, good.
Here we have some individuals. The Tuthills. Let's see if they're talking to somebody. Are you talking to somebody? Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to you later then. And over here we have the pastors. This is Pastor Cole, the normal pastor.
You're not running that, right?
Yeah, but he can edit it.
Oh,
He can edit it.
Yeah, please, a little bit anyway.
I'm working on it. I'm doing my best.
Good.
But anyways,
Good job.
better than some people.
I'm very
So,
confident.
anyways, how did you become the pastor of Living Word Presbyterian Church?
I was the church planter originally, and they decided to keep me on as the pastor.
Huh. Must be because you do such a great job. But anyways, so that's our pastor. And over here is our guest preacher today, Pastor Wayne Browning. Hello, Mr. Browning. So,
Great to be here.
yes, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
And what are you working on right now?
Yes, sermon.
This is called a church bulletin.
Okay.
This is called a Bible.
Huh.
And this is called a sermon note.
Really? Learn something new every day.
Yes. Now, if you'll sit down, I'll tell you a couple of things, okay?
Okay, with the camera on?
Yeah, off.
Off. Oh, okay. Here we have our worship team practicing for the sermon service. There's Dave Iyer with the guitar, Mrs. Heisman singing, and Eric Seeley singing. Over here we have Timothy Rooney playing his instrument, and Kurt Loveland, who's also a church deacon, playing his bass guitar, I believe this is called. And normally we will have somebody playing on the piano, but it doesn't look like they're up there right now. This is Mr. Lynch. Hello, Mr. Lynch. Could you answer a couple questions for us real quick?
No.
You can't? You gotta run? Or can you answer a couple questions? Just real quick?
What are you doing?
I'm doing an interview for Mr. Browning, Pastor Wayne Browning. He wanted me to do some interviews for him.
Oh,
Take
really?
back to his mission board.
Really?
Yes.
So you aren't just kidding.
No, and the camera's rolling, so can I ask?
Oh.
Okay. Fortunately,
Okay.
I can't edit this, so.
All right.
Why do you come to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
Well, very much appreciate the good sound preaching here, and the emphasis on the grace of Christ.
Okay. And how long does it take you to get to Living Word?
Now, about 15 minutes. It used to take about an hour and 15 or an hour and a half. We're over in Spokane, but the Lord provided, and we're able to move over to the Spirit Lake area close by.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. Have a great afternoon. Okay. Hello, what is your name?
My name is Dorothy Seeley.
Okay. There we go. This is going to be a lot of editing. Okay. And why do you come to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
Why do I come here? Well, it's number one that you preach the Word of God here, and I like to be in a church that preaches the Word of God, isn't too low. Okay, and you're very close to me. I just live around a few blocks away, not too far. And I have my grandson that comes here, and a granddaughter, and a little grandchild, and they come here too. So I love to be with the family of God and my own little personal family too.
So, your favorite feature of Living Word Presbyterian Church is the sound teaching?
Yes, good
Okay.
teaching, right.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Thank
good people that are here. We have such a wonderful congregation of people, a lot of friendly, open, and down-to-earth people that live here that
Okay.
come to our church.
And how long have you been coming now?
Oh, gosh, I don't know, about 3 years, I think.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time. Okay. Hello, sir. Can I ask you a few questions real quick?
Make them quick.
Okay. Why do you come to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
Why do we come to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
That's right.
Because it is the only Reformed church that I'm aware of here in North Idaho.
And what is your favorite feature about Living Word Presbyterian Church?
The people. The people. Loving family of God.
How long does it take you to get here?
It takes us about between 22 minutes to get here.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Hello, sir. Can I ask you a couple of questions real quick?
Sure.
Why do you come to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
Well, I come here because of God's grace. I think God led us here after a series of other experiences, and I come here because of the good fellowship and the good environment for our kids and the preaching.
What is the best thing that has happened for you that Living Word has done for you? Yeah, that's how we can phrase it. Interviewing.
Well, I just think that it's been a means of God's grace in a time of transition where we needed to be somewhere else. And God has just given us a gracious opportunity to grow and to learn of the things of God and the preaching and the fellowship here. And we had been going to another church that, as you probably know, broke up, and I came here with other families from that church, which ministered to us greatly.
And how long does it take you to get here?
It takes about 45 to 50 minutes. We come from another town in another state across the borderline here between Idaho and we live in Washington.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it, so thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, can I ask you a couple questions real quick?
Yes,
Why do you come to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
because I started going to a Bible study that you guys had.
Okay. What is your favorite feature about Living Word Presbyterian Church?
I like the praise and prayer time and all the people that come here, and especially like the family environment.
Family environment. Okay. And how long does it take you to get to Living Word?
It takes about 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yeah, to drive here.
What is the best thing Living Word has done for you?
Connected me with Dave. The best thing that Living Word has done for me probably is given me a sense of family.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
Oh, and I'm getting ready to squint, so hurry.
Okay. Can I ask you a couple questions real quick?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Why do you come to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
Because it's my family.
What is your favorite feature about Living Word?
What is my favorite feature about Living Word? The closeness of the people.
And what is the greatest thing Living Word has done for you? The greatest thing you've gotten out of Living Word?
God's ultimate grace towards us all.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
What's along here doing a Living Word Fellowship?
Hey. Can I ask you a few questions
God
real quick, sir?
is graceful and gracious to many sorts, and I've been given grace also, and I'm grateful to be adopted by my Heavenly Father.
Okay, now, standard procedure. Why do you come to Living Word Presbyterian Church?
Because this is where my Heavenly Father ordained that we would come. Why do we stay? That's a better question. Well, it hasn't been because there's an active fish pool to flop around in some kind of religious experience. We stay because of the warm fellowship, the sound biblical teaching of a sovereign God who providentially brings his people into fellowship with him. I think one of the beauties of this church is that God has uniquely tailored the pastor and his family to minister here. He can, through the experiences of the journey that he's been on, is probably better equipped than anybody I've ever seen to minister right here in Athol, Idaho. God has tailored his life to be able to reach out and touch the lives of other people in a way that no one else has been equipped. He's fashioned this man to be fully equipped in this location. And it's a joy for anybody who comes into contact with him or his family. He has uniquely ministered to me as an individual and also to my family through great times of difficulty and struggle. And we are eternally indebted to him for that, and to his family. It's a nice family, too.
It is a nice family.
It has a nice family.
Anyway.
Particularly one of those sons of his.
He's referring to me in the interview. Anyway, what is the greatest thing Living Word has done for you?
The greatest thing Living Word has done for us, they've cared for us.
They took us in.
They took us in when we were orphans. They took us in when we were destitute.
They loved us when
they
we were
loved us when
unlovely.
we were unlovely, and have continued to do so.
Absolutely.
They have shown us the love of Christ in ways that we would have to take great length to tell you. I would be willing to do so if you would take me on that.
And how long does it take you to get from your house over here to Living Word?
It's about a half-hour drive.
About a half hour?
6.5 hours.
6.5 hours. We live really over in Seattle, and so we drive. But we don't do it every week. But from where we have property north of here in Blanchard, and so we drive a half an hour. So
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Again, this is August 2003. Wayne Browning was here at Living Word Presbyterian Church this morning and preached an excellent gospel message for us. Wayne, of course, is from Emmanuel Presbyterian back in Pennsylvania, our sister church. And if you guys are listening, hello, thank you very much for sharing Wayne with us today and for sharing all of your support, prayers, financial support over the years, which has helped to establish Living Word Presbyterian here in northern Idaho. Let me give you a quick introduction. Living Word Presbyterian Church, we started in 1995 with a Bible study out of my house in Cougar Gulch, just south of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And we have slowly grown to the point where we had about 90 people in service today. And our church holds about 100 of the building. Right behind me, we built this church pretty much by hand. We got this property, you couldn't walk through here. It was all scrubs and scrub pine and bushes, and people cleared it. People dug the foundations, and we nailed it together and have our little church. Right now we're to the point where we really need some more room. We don't have any Sunday school room, but we have people who travel a fair distance from 3 states, from Washington over there in Spokane, and from Montana, and of course from here in Idaho. As I said, we had about 100 people here today, and 80 to 100 is about where we're running. Let's see, what else? Some of the things, the property that we're standing on was in large part donated by Rocky Mountain Land, and the interesting thing there is that in this community, these are 5 and 10 acre lots. It is maintained at that size because we are over the aquifer which supplies water to this whole area. And the fascinating thing that came out of this was that there had been some delays in getting septic permits, etc. And when I went down to get the permits, the county officer said, well, it's interesting that you're here today. 2 days ago he had received the updated national geographical surveys of the area, which allowed him to pinpoint where we were with relation to the aquifer, and because of the gas pipeline that runs through our property and the road that we set on, he was able to determine that the aquifer does not actually reside underneath this specific property, that under this property there is a basalt pillar that rises up through the aquifer, and therefore technically we're not over the aquifer, we're over this basalt pillar, and he allowed us to build a septic system, this is interesting stuff I guess, but a septic system for a much larger church than we have now. So we're looking at the potential for a church with a sanctuary that could seat 700 people. We have the septic system in place. Now why that's exciting is just one of those little doors, and we've had a number of those doors along the way that God has opened up to not only allow a church to be here, but we trust that God has some big plans for our little church in the future, planting other churches and helping to establish a solid Reformed witness in the inland Northwest. And so, as I say, we're looking at other areas possibly to plant churches. We want to be able to expand our little church here so that we can have the classroom space and additional Sunday school space to be able to do that for other communities in the Northwest here. And so we want to thank those of you, particularly back Emmanuel Presbyterian Church, who helped to establish this work here, and through this work, the other works that we hope to see God do in the future. So, thanks much.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Here we have some lesser developed territory on the Living Word property. I'd show you that. There's our shed where we can keep some tools. And the parking lot. And this parking lot can get pretty full. And here's the building. Some picnic tables. And some more undeveloped field. There you see the neighbors. And we're back where we started. And it goes back that way quite a ways in the trees. So that is that. The lawn that you saw earlier over there, that used to all be grass and brush and stuff like that, just like you see over here. Still work to be done, but a lot of it has been accomplished. It is now Monday, August 25th, 2003. We're going to continue our tour. Over here we have the house. Same as yesterday. Lawn area on front. This fencing here helps protect the eyesore of our fuel tanks. Slide, show you those. Those are for the stove. Deck. Here's another little dog kennel for some miniature pinchers. Over here we have our spigot. Around here everybody has spigots. And a hose. The black tar paper that you see on the ground, really thick stuff, that is to keep the water out so it doesn't go downstairs. So yes, that does have a purpose. We're going to walk back around this way. Here is our deck. And we'll see what that looks like from up there later. And down here, there's our door to our basement. And underneath the deck, there you see some peacocks. Here is a birdhouse. Cement mixer. Man, when you're mixing a lot of cement, it really pays to have a cement mixer. Giant pile of rocks, some lumber. Those rocks will be eventually used to continue on this wall. So this has been collected from around the property. Some more wood. Over here we have our soccer field utility area. Sometimes we run the horses around here. and do some dog training. It's a great little field. And down there we have the hill. Yeah, it's really bad when you send your soccer ball flying down the hill. Somebody has to go get it. We're now going to go walk along with the agility. The reason this all isn't grassy is because it takes a lot of water to make stuff grassy. And that can get expensive. So, that is why. It's really kind of deserty around here. Here's the other side of the house. Still some sand. Hopefully eventually though, we will get that all nice and grassy. Here we have the agility, and I'm going to run you through a quick tour of the agility course. This is our agility course, and we're going to run through it real quick. Now, if you're a dog and you want to run the agility course, here's what you do. You run through this jump here, jump it, then you jump over these jumps, like so. Do the teeter-totter real fast, it's a time thing. Quickly run through this uncompleted tunnel. Will be completed eventually. Over the A-frame. You can get freaky if you're a dog. Jump another jump. Jump another jump. Run over this obstacle. Do it real quick. You gotta get over it. Height thing, you know. Some dogs get afraid of heights. Jump through the hoop. Make a jump. Oh, got that. Jump over here. Run through the tunnel here. Make another jump. And jump over here. And then you're done. And it probably looks about like that. So, that's how you do the agility course. Now you know. Okay, we're now going to continue on with our tour. Over here we have the trash cans. That's where we put the garbage. Some plants, green plants. Incredible feat. Over there is the remnants of an ancient pig fence. And that was quite a pig fence. Electricity and kinds of good stuff. Over here is the hay. Now there are two types of bales over here. Here we have round bales and square bales. The square bales are much older than the round bales. We like the round bales because they tend to deflect water, and it's easy. You just lift up one round bale and you can put it in with the horses, and you don't have to take a whole bunch of little square bales. And then of course you just have that hay in a enclosed area so that they can't eat it all the time. Then you herd them in and out for feeding, and it is a lot easier. Here we have our tractor. This tractor does a lot of work around here. It would be really difficult to do all the stuff we do without the tractor. And down here we have some walnut wood. We have kept that walnut wood for a very long time. We've had it since we left Pennsylvania. Yes, and it's still good walnut wood. Here we have a long fence line. This fence line has been here for a very long time, and a lot of animals have gotten through it. So over the years, it has been patched a number of times. This is our truck. Very nice truck. We like it a lot. It really has done well by us. We have our fence line with real barbed wire. Wait, it has no barbed wire. I was looking through the finder here and didn't see it. Oh well. But no barbed wire. Oh, here's some barbed wire. It just disappeared over here. But over here, we have bunny rabbit. Moving right along. we have the chicken coop, or at least it was a chicken coop. Now it is a tack house for the horses. So that's where we keep all our saddles and etc. In the back, we still have remnants from the chicken days. Over here, we have a bunch of collected wire from all over the place. Our garage, the door broke. We're gonna have to fix that. So that's an old garage, though. Moving right along. Over here, we have our corral. Now, this is where you would put the hay in the wintertime, the big round bale, and then they can eat it, and then you herd them out for an hour, and then they've eaten their meal, and then you can let them back in. Works great. There's their water and food. Over here, we have the calf, and he is in this shed here. This shed has been used for many a purpose, including aviary, goat barn, rabbit shed, and bike storage complex. So, the shed's been used for quite a few things. It was originally designed to last one winter. It is still around 10 years later. It looks like he spilled his water. Animals have a tendency to do that. I will have to go and fix that for him now. Okay, the calf now has water. It was kind of difficult getting it to him. He kept knocking the hose out. And then you have to put it back in. But he is now all set. We're gonna go over here. See the view. There's the mountains. Down there. It's the sledding hill / path. Pasture area. I'm going to go get some better shots of the pasture so you can all see what it's like. Here we are in the pasture. And the pasture is a great area. This is where the horses come and eat. Check out that little fork. It is also an excellent paintball arena when we have paintball games. It's an excellent sport, so we have our friends over here and we shoot each other and it's all fun. And I did want to show you the well house. That is where our well is located. So, now you know what it looks like. Here on our hillside we have the horses, happily munching away in the pasture. This one's name is Penny. Wait, that's Gracie. This, in the trees here, this is Penny. And I believe there's one other horse. It's actually a pony named Blossom. But I don't see her around, so maybe we'll meet her later. Oh, we've seen about everything there is to see outside. So now we are going to go inside. So let's go. Now this here is one of those dogs I told you we were going to meet later. This is Damage. And Damage wants to go inside. Damage is a Great Dane. We got him from Great Dane Rescue. Isn't that right, Damage? And you can just guess why he's named Damage. So, let's go on inside now. And we're here. There we have our famous painting, stairway, the kitchen and living area, refrigerator. Panning back around here, we have the computer and Mom's desk. In that door is Mom's room, the parents' room, the master bedroom. So let's go in here. Let's start with the kitchen. First things first, we have the sink. Then we have the stove, microwave, some cooking stuff, and our stainless steel cabinet. Window, you can look outside and see stuff. A painting, window, an antique rocking chair. Look outside. There's the deck. Over here we have a cabinet, more stuff. But right there, that's where all the dishes are kept, and this is our center island. It's quite set up. Okay, so we'll continue on now. There is couches, Damage's bed where he gets to sleep, where we're all eating, supposedly. Coffee table, little bag there goes to the camera. Cupboard, a window. Windows are really messing up the lighting. See if I can get a, there we go. That's a better lighting shot. Okay, we're now going to go out onto the deck. Oops. Thing you need to remember about our whole house is it's all a work in progress. Very few things are all the way done. There's the weight set. Now this deck is great for in the morning. You can sit out here and you can watch the birds, and in the evening you can see the sunset right over those hills. You can see them. I'll zoom in so you can see them. It's great. We have some bird feeders, and we do get a lot of birds. We even get peacocks. Of course, we try and keep them off the deck. If anybody's had a deck with peacocks, stuff, we can explain to you why you try and do that. There's the doors to the closet. This here is our kitchen table. That's where we eat breakfast, and lunch, and dinner, and everything in between. An island again. And our calendar, phone message board. So when you call the house, that's where I write down your phone messages. Over here, we have some magazines sorted. Trash can. Down here is some wood. This is flooring, the flooring that you saw over in the living room. that is more of it. Hopefully we'll set that up here on this wood. No, that is not the finished surface. And that is a dog box, where you can put these miniature pinchers that we saw earlier. Here's our pew, where you can put coats and etc. That's a wonderful just utility surface. Here we have the computer, where Elizabeth Cole does her email. And here's another dog box where Ruby stays. And this is Mrs. Cole's desk. We're now going to go inside the master bedroom. Right in here. It's an unfinished light switch, but that just proves once again this is a work in progress. Here we have the master bedroom. So the bed, the closets, and this, like everything else, is still kind of a work in progress. Eventually, in 10 years, hopefully, things will be less of a work in progress. Here we have another desk. Some wonderful chairs that were given to us. And here is the door, which goes out to nothing right now, but eventually we hope to have a little deck for that. And then you can see out to the soccer field and watch the kids. In here is the unfinished master bathroom. But hey, it's getting along. It's been painted now, and the sink and stuff works. So it works. Bathtub has not been hooked up, of course, but we're hoping to do that. It takes time and money to get everything going, but God's been very good to us, so I'm sure we'll get it finished. We're now going to go downstairs. So, let's go. Here comes Luke Cole and Samuel Cole. What a surprise! So we're going down the stairs right now.